Hey there, it's Brandon Burns, your Head of Community here at Runway. We're back on the couch, and with me is from One Day P.A, Lou Hammer. How are you?
Hello, I'm well.
Great to have you on the couch.
Thanks for asking me to come in.
Oh, my pleasure. Well, it's pretty timely because Lou's actually our special guest speaker at Cleveland Creative's second masterclass next Wednesday. And I thought I'd get her on just to give us a sneak peek into what she'll be talking about and also your journey today.
Yeah.
And I really can't believe, we're talking off camera, that you've only been going about 2.5 years with this business.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because it feels like, you're everywhere and everyone I talk to has either engaged your services or knows someone that has.
Yeah, right. That's nice to know.
Yeah, it is indeed. So I'm probably keen, and so is the audience, to know, what problem was this business born out of that you're trying to solve, and how have you handled that growth in 2.5 years?
Yeah, so I guess the business was born out of my own need to get help. I worked in a job that was 4 days a week. A lot of my girlfriends work in either full-time or part-time employment. We've all got children, and there was always rumblings about, I need a PA, or if someone could just go and take my car to get serviced, or I just can't do it all. Like, we live in a world now where women and men work, but all of the life admin still gets done. So I was like, I wanted to be a business owner, never knew what I was going to do, and then just light bulb moment, PA for a day. If you could actually hire someone to come and do the random things on your to-do list, would people do it? And the idea was born. I put it out there. There was a 5-year plan for it to be my sole source of income, and after 6 months I was resigning from a job that I actually really enjoyed to pursue it as a full-time career.
So, who solved the problem for you? I mean, you solved the problem for your clients, but who did it for you?
I still haven't found it.
But have you obviously...
I lie. I have a cleaner that comes to my house, so I do outsource the things that I just don't get time to do. And then in terms of my business, I've got a team that also support me. Within that team, there's one of the girls who's a nanny, so I'll call on her to help out with childcare if I need support at night times. I've got an amazing husband who fills the void on weekends if there's events that we need to run. So I'm all about outsourcing.
So we've got a good insight there into your type of client.
Yes.
How about, give me an insight into some of the example services that you would provide regularly, so that people can get a feel for those things that can get done for them.
Yeah, sure. So home organisation would be the biggest thing that we help people with. So whether that's actually going into somebody's home and decluttering, years worth of accumulated junk, or some people don't need the decluttering help, but they need help setting up systems and routines for their kids or even for themselves. Like I said before, the majority of my clients are dual working families. So you've got mum working, dad working, and all that life admin just kind of sits in the back end. You get home from work, you're busy. The last thing you want to be doing is going and sorting out your garage or whatever it is. So home organisation is definitely the number one. And then second to that is events. So I'm talking your 40th birthday party that's coming up in 4 weeks that you went, I haven't done anything and I work full time, and who's going to do it all for me? So it's pulling all that together, going to the venue, setting it up. So they're the two main tasks that we do, but we have done some very, very random things.
So it sounds like you can offer a bespoke solution.
Correct, yeah. So my background is in events and executive support. So I've worked as a PA and an EA for some of Geelong's biggest employers, and in those jobs, your director, your boss, whatever they need done, you've got to get done, whether you're skilled in it or not. You just find out how to do it. That's what my business does.
Well, I love it. Fantastic. So tell me, right, on the topic of branding, because you got me thinking, and social media for our masterclass.
Yes.
I mean, you obviously sound like you've got a bit of an extensive network, but how have you leveraged your brand and social media to grow your business?
Yeah, look, when you say about my network,
Yeah.
that was one thing that I was adamant I would grow when I left. I had no option. This business had to work.
Yep.
You know, we've got 2 kids, we've got a mortgage, it had to work. I had no other option. So my number one goal was to grow my network as big as I could get it. I think I've succeeded. You know, I'll attend networking events. I'm genuinely...
After today's interview, you've succeeded. No, I don't.
I'm genuinely interested in what other people are doing as well.
Yep.
So creating unique and, you know, authentic network connections is important for me. So I suppose in terms of building my brand, it all kind of happened organically.
Yep.
Based off that. So I suppose referrals, you know, have you heard about Lou from One Day P.A? Have a look at her pantry edits or whatever it is. I will say that sometimes I'm great at setting a plan and, you know, planning out my social media calendar a month in advance. Sometimes I'm not.
Yep.
But everything that gets put onto my feed or anything that I do in terms of branding and social media is from me, it's from my mouth, they're my words. So I think that's why it works.
Great, excellent. Is there one particular thing on social media or one of the platforms that you've seen work really well for your style of business? You know, so professional services as opposed to, you know, we've had people on the program who sell a product.
Yep.
What's something that's worked really well for you on socials for your style of business?
Offering advice. So
Yeah, cool.
so I'm all about giving advice for free. I don't want anything from it. I'm a helper. I'm
Yep.
here to help.
And that's building you as an authority in your space.
Totally.
Yeah?
And look, not everybody can afford my services. But I want everybody to be able to access my knowledge. Yeah?
Great. I love
So
that.
there's some people who they can afford it, but they also just don't have the time to action the things that I can say. So
Yep.
it's not just about I can't be bothered doing it. They just don't have the time. Then there's others that will have the time, maybe can't afford it, but they should be allowed to access my knowledge base.
I love it.
Yeah.
So you're giving back, that's great.
Correct. Yeah.
Well, that's a great snippet into more of what you're going to be able to hear from Lou at our Clever and Creative event next week. We'll put a link to the tickets in the comments. And if people want to find out more about you, where can they do that?
So you can go to my website, www.onedaypa.com.au.
Lou Hammer, unreal. Thank you for being on the couch.
Thank you.
Too easy.